Introduction to Hidden Opportunities in the Used Car Market. Let's dive into the hidden gems of the pre-owned vehicle market that most buyers overlook. Here is why you should ignore the popular models and look at what the experts are actually purchasing. Right now, there are three SUVs sitting on used car lots that sellers are practically begging you to notice, and every mechanic I know is quietly buying them for their own driveways. These aren't project vehicles. They aren't acceptable compromises for the price. I am talking about SUVs that will reach 250,000 miles with nothing but basic maintenance, selling for thousands less than they should for a frustrating reason. The average buyer has no idea they exist. After 22 years of turning wrenches, I've seen people overpay for RAV4 and CRV models, while these three sit there collecting dust and bird droppings, waiting for someone smart enough to notice them. And the number one SUV has been my personal recommendation for 4 years. I've put dozens of clients in them, and the feedback is always the same. Why is nobody talking about this thing? Today, I am counting down my three most underrated SUVs currently rotting on dealer lots. These are the ones offering Lexus-level quality at Kia-level prices. I'll go deeper on number one because it's the one that could truly change how you shop for a three-row family hauler. Let's get started. Top 1 Buick Envision from 2019 to 2022. Our first pick is a vehicle that offers premium comfort without the premium price tag. This is a quiet luxury that defies economic logic in the used market. Number 3 is a 2019 to 2022 Buick Envision. This SUV almost makes no sense on paper. It is a compact luxury crossover with near-premium interior quality, an ultra-quiet cabin, excellent safety ratings, and it depreciates like it's made of paper. You can pick one up right now for under $18,000. Let me explain why that is insane. I had a client about 8 months ago. She was a professional woman in her early 50s, looking for something comfortable for her commute, something that felt premium without the premium price. She was looking at a 2020 Lexus NX with 62,000 miles. The dealer wanted $31,000 for it. I asked if she had considered the Envision. She laughed and said the Envision was for old people. I pulled up a 2020 Buick Envision Premium 2 with the turbocharged engine, same mileage listed at $17,500. That was $13,500 less for a vehicle that was mechanically just as sound and in some ways better equipped. She bought it 2 weeks later. After 6 months, zero issues. Her message last month said she felt like she pulled off a heist. Here is what nobody tells you about the second generation Envision from 2019 to 2020 and the completely redesigned model from 2021 onward. Buick finally stopped making compromises. The first generation Envision from 2016 to 2018 had real problems. Electrical bugs, headrest issues, complaints about the braking system. Stay away from those years. Starting in 2019, Buick cleaned up their act and complaints dropped dramatically. The 2019 and 2020 models use GM's 2.5L naturally aspirated four-cylinder or the optional 2.0L turbocharged engine. Both are paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission that has been refined over years of production. The 2021 redesign went even further. The car is lower, wider, with more premium materials inside, and Buick's quiet tuning technology, which uses triple door seals, laminated acoustic glass, and active noise cancellation. This thing is quieter than some luxury sedans that cost twice as much. Now let's talk numbers because that is where the Envision becomes a no-brainer. According to Kelley Blue Book, a 2020 Buick Envision has depreciated about 45% over the last 3 years. A 2021 model has dropped about 34 to 36% in the same timeframe. For comparison, a Lexus NX loses about 35% over 5 years. The Buick hits that depreciation cliff much faster, which is bad for the first owner and fantastic for you. Current market prices, a 2020 Envision Premium with 60,000 miles cost between $16,000 and $19,000. A comparable 2020 Lexus NX with similar mileage is $28,000 to $32,000. That is a $12,000 difference for vehicles that will cost you roughly the same to maintain over the next 5 years. RepairPal gives the Envision solid reliability ratings for 2019 and newer models. Annual maintenance costs average around $612, which is actually cheaper than the industry average for compact luxury sport utility vehicles. The probability of a major repair is low when you stick to the 2019 and newer model years. When you shop for an Envision, follow this inspection checklist. First, check the model year. I cannot stress this enough. The 2016 to 2018 models had real issues. 2019 and newer is where reliability improves significantly. Don't let a low price on a 2017 tempt you. Second, check the responsiveness of the infotainment screen. Some early models had touchscreen lag issues. Cycle through all the menus. If the system is slow, negotiate $300 off for a potential head unit replacement later. Third, test the active noise cancellation. Turn off the radio and drive on the highway at 70 miles per hour. If you hear excessive wind noise or tire roar, something is wrong with the system. Fourth, inspect the leather seats for premature wear. The Envision has good interior materials, but some owners report wear on the seat bolsters on high-mileage examples. It's easy to spot and easy to negotiate. Who should buy the Envision? Anyone who wants a quiet, comfortable, and well-equipped compact SUV without paying the luxury brand tax. Retirees, professionals with long commutes, anyone who prioritizes refinement over badge prestige. Who should avoid it? If you need 3 rows, look elsewhere. The Envision is a 2-row vehicle. If you plan to resell in 3 years, the depreciation continues. So buy something with better resale. And if you care about what the neighbors think of your driveway, the Buick badge might not impress them, but your bank account will thank you. Conclusion on the Envision: you get 85% of the Lexus NX experience at 55% of the cost. The only reason this SUV is cheap is because it says Buick on the grille, and people think it's their grandmother's brand. If you think the Envision is overlooked, wait until you hear about number 2. Top 2 Acura RDX from 2019 to 2022, moving on to a vehicle that perfectly balances athletic performance with legendary dependability. This is where sporty performance meets legendary reliability without breaking the bank. Number 2 is a compact luxury SUV with Honda reliability, a turbocharged engine that actually delivers the goods, and it depreciates like Acura owes you money. Personally, I have been tracking this for 3 years now. Every time a third-generation RDX comes into my shop, I prepare to find nothing because there is usually nothing wrong with them. Let me tell you about a client who almost made a very expensive mistake. He came in last spring, early 30s, an engineer, and he wanted something sporty but practical. He was dead set on a 2020 BMW X3 with the M Sport package. Beautiful vehicle, no doubt. The dealer wanted $38,000 with 55,000 miles. I asked him one question: have you driven the Acura RDX? He looked at me like I had suggested a minivan. I pulled up some listings on my phone. A 2020 Acura RDX A-Spec with the super handling all-wheel drive system. 48,000 miles, $24,500. That is $13,500 less than the BMW. Same horsepower and a better reliability history. Honda build quality. He test drove both back-to-back and bought the Acura. That was 14 months ago. You know what he has spent on repairs? $187, one oil change and a cabin filter. Meanwhile, his friend with the X3 just shelled out $2,400 for a water pump and thermostat. Here is what the market doesn't understand about the third-generation RDX that debuted in 2019. Acura didn't just update this SUV, they rebuilt it from the ground up, and they nailed it. The 2.0L turbocharged 4-cylinder produces 272 horsepower and 280 lb-ft of torque. That is nearly identical to the old naturally aspirated V6, but with significantly better low-end torque. The 10-speed automatic transmission is smooth and responsive. Some early owners complained about hesitant transmission calibration, but Acura fixed that with software updates. If you are buying used, make sure the latest updates have been applied. The super handling all-wheel drive system is a true engineering feat, not marketing. It can send up to 70% of the torque to the rear wheels and actively distribute power from side to side. This thing handles like a sports sedan, not a crossover. IC Cars gives the RDX an overall quality rating of 8.4 out of 10 and ranks it second out of 29 luxury compact SUVs. The reliability rating is 8.5 out of 10. These aren't subjective opinions. These are data points from millions of vehicles. Now here is the depreciation story that should interest you most. The 2019 and 2020 RDX both lose about 46% of their value after 5 years. That sounds bad until you realize you are buying a vehicle that started between $40,000 and $48,000, depending on the trim. A 2019 RDX that's stickered for $45,000 now sells for between $22,000 and $28,000 with reasonable mileage. Compare that to a 2019 Lexus NX, which loses about 35% over the same period, but started at a similar price. The Lexus holds its value better, but you are paying a premium upfront for that privilege. If you are keeping the vehicle long-term and don't care about resale, the Acura makes more financial sense. Current market prices look like this. A 2019 Acura RDX technology with 60,000 miles costs between $22,000 and $26,000. The comparable 2019 Lexus NX 300F Sport with similar mileage is $28,000 to $33,000. That is a $6,000 to $7,000 difference for comparable vehicles. Maintenance costs on the RDX are low. You are looking at Honda and Acura parts prices, which are significantly cheaper than German luxury brands. An oil change at the dealer is about $80. Brake pads, maybe $280 for the front. This is not a vehicle that will bankrupt you at the service counter. When you test drive a used RDX, pay attention to a few things. First, the infotainment touchpad. This is Acura's controversial True Touchpad interface. Some love it, some hate it. Make sure you can actually use it before you commit. It takes about a week to get used to. Second, check for any hesitation when accelerating from a stop. The initial transmission calibration on some 2019 models was hesitant. If you feel a delay when you hit the gas, ask the dealer to confirm the software has been updated. Third, listen for any unusual sounds from the turbocharger during hard acceleration. The turbo is reliable, but high mileage examples should be checked. A whistling or grinding sound is a red flag. Fourth, check that all recalls have been performed. There was a fuel pump recall and a seatbelt recall that affected 2019 to 2020 models. It's easy to check with the VIN, and dealers will do the work for free if it hasn't been done. Who should buy the RDX? Anyone who wants a sporty, reliable, and well-equipped luxury SUV without the German repair bills. Enthusiast drivers who need practicality. Anyone moving up from a Honda CR-V and wanting more power and refinement? Who should avoid it? If you need 3 rows, the RDX is a 5-seater only. If you want maximum cargo space, the RDX is tighter than some competitors. And if you absolutely must have a traditional gear shifter, the RDX's push-button selector might annoy you. Here is the mechanics math on the RDX. Buy it for $24,000, drive it for 100,000 miles, and spend maybe $3,500 total on maintenance. Your cost per mile will be among the lowest in the luxury compact SUV segment. It is a vehicle that makes financial sense. All right, that was number 2. This last one, number 1, is the SUV I recommend more than any other to families asking which 3-row vehicle to buy. And almost everyone flinches at first because they've never heard it mentioned in the same sentence as the Toyota Highlander until they drive one. If this kind of straight talk helps you, click the subscribe button. I have more videos coming on the SUVs dealers push versus the ones that actually make sense. Top 3 Mazda CX-9 from 2017 to 2022. Finally, we reach the top spot with a family hauler that offers an incredible driving experience and high-end luxury. This is the best-kept secret for families who refuse to sacrifice driving fun. Number 1 is a 3-row SUV with an interior that rivals vehicles costing $20,000 more. Handling that embarrasses the competition, reliability comparable to Toyota, and it sells for $8,000 to $12,000 less than a comparable Highlander because the average buyer thinks Mazda only makes small cars. They are wrong, and that ignorance is your opportunity. Let me tell you about the conversation that changed how I recommend 3-row SUVs. About 3 years ago, a family came in. Dad, mom, and 2 kids under 10 needed a 3rd row for weekend activities and summer trips. They had test-driven the Toyota Highlander, the Honda Pilot, and the Ford Explorer. They had their checkbook ready for a 2019 Highlander Limited with 58,000 miles. The dealer wanted $32,000. I asked one question. Has anyone shown you the Mazda CX-9? Dead silence. They had never considered it. I took them outside to my lot where I had a client's 2019 CX-9 Grand Touring I had just finished servicing. Same mileage range, same feature set. The market price at the time was $24,000. They sat inside. The father literally said, "This feels like a Lexus." He wasn't wrong. Mazda's interior quality on the second-generation CX-9 is truly premium. Real stitched leather, authentic metal trim, soft-touch materials everywhere your hands actually land. This isn't fake luxury. It is the real thing at a mainstream price. They bought a CX-9 Grand Touring 2 weeks later. That was 3 years ago. I've serviced it 4 times since. Total repair costs outside of maintenance, $0. Not a single unexpected issue. They've put 45,000 miles on it without a hitch. Here is what nobody understands about the second-generation CX-9 starting in 2016. Mazda didn't build a 3-row SUV. They built a driver's car that happens to have 3 rows. The 2.5L turbocharged Skyactiv G engine produces 250 horsepower on regular fuel and 227 on premium. Torque is the key number here. 320 lb-ft available at just 2,000 RPM. That is a diesel-like low-end grunt that makes the CX-9 feel faster than the numbers suggest. The engine uses a timing chain, not a timing belt. That means no one-to-one $100 timing belt replacement at 100,000 miles. The chain is designed to last the life of the engine. The 6-speed automatic transmission is proven and refined. Some competitors went to CVT or dual-clutch units that have questionable long-term reliability. Mazda stuck with what works. RepairPal gives the CX-9 a reliability rating of 4.0 out of 5.0 and ranks it first out of 14 midsize SUVs. J.D. Power awarded it 81 out of 100 for reliability. Consumer Reports rates the 2017 to 2022 models as above average for predicted reliability. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the comparison with the Toyota Highlander. A 2019 Toyota Highlander Limited with 70,000 miles currently costs between $28,000 and $33,000. A 2019 Mazda CX-9 Grand Touring with similar mileage is $20,000 to $25,000. That is an $8,000 to $10,000 difference for SUVs that are functionally equivalent in terms of space and capability. Yes, the Toyota has better resale value. The Highlander loses about 39% of its value in 5 years, while the CX-9 loses about 47 to 50%. But here's the thing. If you are buying used, you want the vehicle that depreciated faster. That depreciation already happened to someone else. You are buying the car after the drop. The interior quality of the CX-9 is arguably better than the Highlander. The driving dynamics are in a completely different league. The Highlander is comfortable and competent. The CX-9 is actually engaging to drive. It corners flat. The steering has real feel. And the suspension is tuned for drivers who care. Automotive journalists have been saying it for years. Consumer Reports called it a hidden gem. AutoGuide did a head-to-head comparison and gave the win to the CX-9 over the Highlander XSE, specifically citing interior quality, driving dynamics, and value. When you shop for a CX-9, here is my inspection checklist. Check the turbocharger recall. Some 2018 to 2019 models had a fuel pump recall that affected the low-pressure fuel pump. Dealers will fix this for free. Verify the work was done. Look closely at the model year. The 2016 models had some early adoption issues with infotainment screens and minor electrical bugs. 2017 and newer are significantly more refined. If possible, aim for 2018 or later. Test the infotainment system thoroughly. Mazda updated the system for 2019 to include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Older models can be retrofitted, but it's easier to buy one that already has it. Inspect the paint around the wheel wells and rocker panels. The CX-9 sits lower than many competitors, and some owners in harsh climates report rock chip buildup. This isn't a reliability issue, but a cosmetic point to note. Check the cargo area dimensions. The CX-9 has about 14 cubic feet behind the third row, which is less than the Highlander's 16 cubic feet. If you regularly haul large loads with all seats occupied, this might matter to you. Who should buy the CX-9? Families who want a three-row SUV that doesn't drive like a three-row SUV. Anyone who prioritizes interior quality over badge prestige. Buyers smart enough to let someone else take the depreciation hit. People who actually enjoy driving and don't want to sacrifice that just because they need space. Who should avoid it? If you need maximum towing capacity, the CX-9 is rated at 3,500 lbs. The Highlander does 5,000 lbs. If you are buying to resell in 3 years, the Toyota's better resale value makes more sense. And if you need real off-road capability, neither the CX-9 nor the Highlander is the right answer. Get a 4Runner. Here is my final take on the CX-9. It is the best three-row SUV value on the used market, period. You get a premium interior, engaging driving dynamics, proven reliability, and a price that makes the competition look overpriced. The only reason this SUV sits on lots while Highlanders fly off is name recognition. Mazda doesn't have Toyota's marketing budget, but they have engineers who are just as good. Conclusion and final advice. To wrap things up, let's summarize how you can make the smartest choice for your next vehicle purchase. So, there you have it. 3 SUVs that the market forgot, but mechanics did not. The Buick Envision has an ultra-quiet cabin and a premium feel. It depreciates dramatically because nobody under 60 thinks about Buick. The Acura RDX blends Honda reliability with sporty dynamics. Many buyers overlook it because they assume you need a German badge for driving excitement. The Mazda CX-9 is the best-kept secret of the three-row SUV market with a premium interior and engaging driving dynamics. It is priced as if people don't know what it is, because they don't. You now know 3 SUVs you can buy for under $25,000 that will last longer than vehicles twice the price. Next time you are on a dealer lot and the salesman tries to push you toward an overpriced RAV4 or a 3-year-old German lease return with a questionable maintenance history, you will know better. If you want to know which SUVs have actually earned legendary status in the shop, the ones that refuse to die no matter how their owners treat them, I made an entire video on that. 4 SUVs that mechanics truly respect with the numbers to prove it. That is 22 years of watching what breaks and what doesn't. Like if this helped you, subscribe for more automotive advice. I will keep giving you the truth that dealers won't tell you. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in the next one. If these revelations change the way you look at the vehicles sitting on dealer lots, make sure to subscribe and like the channel. We are excavating the mechanical history that some are trying to hide. Plant the seeds for your future on the road. The next automotive treasure will be revealed soon.